Yep.
Okay, you're okay. Don't trip.
Yeah. So when you everything just crumbles.
It's like, hey, come on,
We're all laying on top of each other. It's like, what happened? It's a tragedy, man.
Flipside Music presents
That's
the
right.
Denver Music Gear Podcast. Brought to you live from Denver, Colorado.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Denver Music Gear Podcast. I'm Jacob.
I'm Dylan.
And I'm still Ike. That's what I usually say at the end, but I'm Ike.
Yes.
Not Mike, Ike.
Yes. No candies today.
Yeah. What's happening, everybody?
Yeah.
How's everyone doing out there in internet land?
That's vodka.
We're here on a thundering Thursday.
Yeah, it's raining finally in Denver. It hasn't rained in what, 2
years?
3 years?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. I'm like, what is this stuff? What is falling from the sky?
One of those big old drops, like those Kansas drops.
That's like upstate
big
New York.
suckers.
Yeah, upstate New York rain. But it only rains for 15 minutes here. Oh, we got the wide angle and everything. Look at that.
So we could get the chat.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, nice.
We're
It's
trying.
still rumbling. We still got some.
Yeah,
thunder
no, it's still
happening.
thundering for sure.
We're trying some new things. We got camera angles.
Well, that
Yeah,
looks nice.
you know, we're
We're
just
sitting at a.
does
we're,
look good. We
We're
got
at,
this
we're
behind
at the news desk.
Yeah, none of us are wearing pants. I mean, that's great.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So much cooler.
This just in. Denver finally gets water.
Yeah, you know what's amazing? What the best part is the second it rains, everything turns green.
Yeah,
For like
it's
a
the
moment.
It's the weirdest phenomenon.
You're like when a rock is prettier when it's wet. You're like, that's basically what just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or when you put stain on a piece of wood.
Well, because actually, I was
of
kind of noticing on the way in. Have you guys seen how much, like, throughout the city, everything's turning already? Brown?
Oh yeah,
Like, it's like the leaves are already turning, and it's like
They've
we're in
given-
mid-August.
Yeah, they've given up.
Oh, I know, but it's
That's
just
what's happening.
it's just
is-
going to be like a shockingly dull fall this year, I feel like.
They've just
Yep.
given up because it's been so stinking hot.
and early because of the
Yeah.
drought.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd-
Chris
Tomorrow-
Bianchi told me all about it from Channel 9 News.
I was just, I can't blame them because it's been a brutal summer.
Yeah. Oh, it's just been 90, almost to 100 degrees all last
Every
month.
day.
Was like every day was in
Yeah.
the 90s. It was
Yeah.
brutal.
Yeah, it was like 28 out of 31 above 91, and then the other 3 days were 89.
Yeah. So
And like the hottest overnight temperatures too.
Ever recorded? Yeah, hottest July, I think, in the state history.
Yep.
So,
yeah. So
Yeah.
now that we've done the weather,
exactly. We're living up to the.
the thing is,
the
I will
theme.
have to mow the grass tomorrow because
Well-
that's just been waiting to get some moisture to grow.
Yeah, now it's gonna just.
Yeah. Well, my
And we'll
backyard's
see-
all weeds anyway, so it doesn't matter.
We can see how we actually did in our war against the Tree of Heavens.
Mine is. I'm winning. I am
Third
winning.
camera angle.
Winning the foliage war.
Well, those things are brutal. You know, especially in the Denver area, there's a thing called the Tree of Heaven. It's a weed tree. That's basically what it is.
Not the fun weed, but
Yeah, no, that would be great.
More like an invasive species.
It's an invasive, yes, an invasive species, and it's ridiculous to get rid of because you cut it down, and then the suckers like sprout up all through the roots, and it's like, so you cut it over here, and it pops up over there, and they're like, ah, it's me.
you're like it's the sucker fish of plants.
Yeah,
Comes in, uses up all the resources, drives everything else out.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. So we'll see how the rain does.
Yeah.
But anyway, how's everybody doing out there? How are you guys doing?
We can say hey to Janice and Carla
Janice.
and Dave out there and internet
Oh,
land.
shit. Don't let me forget the cases for the guys at Texas Toast.
Don't forget the cases for the
So I
guys at
gotta not
Texas
forget
Toast.
the guy. Yeah, I got a list. We'll plug our boys over at Texas Toast. Guitars are doing a class this week. They are building guitars, and they got a lot of folks over there that need some cases from us that I have to bring there tomorrow. So
Very nice.
I just remember that. That's all I gotta do is driving home, going, "What's this in my pocket?"
Do you know what they're building?
Yeah, what's the
Um,
model?
Tellies?
Or is it customs?
SGs?
It's all different shapes. They have different shapes going on.
No theme this time.
I don't think so, because I saw like one was like a mockingbird. One guy was doing like a kind of a mockingbird, and another one was doing the BC Rich.
Oh.
Starts with a B.
You can say bitch.
Yeah, so that's it, the bitch. So
It's spelled B-I-C-H.
Yeah, like rich, but yeah.
Yeah. So that one, there was a Mockingbird, and then I don't know. I didn't see what the other guys were doing because they were in kind of more of the woodworking area.
According to Dastardly Dave, it is a neck through.
Ah, there you go. Thanks, Dave. Are you there? I didn't see you.
He's like, no, I just got the email for the class.
Yeah, I'm like, Dave.
The call's coming from inside
Well,
the
because
house.
there are some usual suspects.
Yeah, and he's certainly
this-
one of them.
Yeah, there are some usual suspects in this class, like Dan Andreas and Doug's there, and Doc is there.
Oh, okay.
So there are some regulars in the class, but I didn't see Dave.
Well, hopefully they pop
He is
in.
not.
Because I was
I
say, yeah,
I didn't see Dave because he's hard to miss.
he is. He's very tall.
He's very tall.
Very tall.
So
And I do want to say, forgive us for that flashing camera there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm not sure what
Should
happened
be stable
there, but-
enough to hang in there, but
Yeah. Just pretend like it's an effect, like we.
like we planned it.
Yeah.
it's the lightning.
Sure. Yeah.
Thunder and lightning, and that's what was causing that. I'd like to think.
This looks pretty proper, though.
I was just saying, I really
lie,
like that
doesn't look-
frame. I do like that with the darker. Yeah.
Does
looks
look good.
We look like a legit podcast.
Yeah. Bit by bit.
Yeah, except we're in a large room, fairly large room. I do like the camera fading.
It's more dynamic.
Sure.
That's what they say on the internet. When they're, I
Oh,
was
it's
watching some
flashing again,
video.
too.
I was watching some videos on how to be more with the times,
Oh, sweet.
and
And this is
people
it.
have short,
And this is
very
it.
very short
attention,
attention
yeah.
spans, and they need.
They need.
They're like, you know what would really
They
make
need
this
to
show
switch
better
over.
if I could see that guy in profile.
Right. If I just see a different angle, this
Yeah.
conversation would be so much
Just
better.
change everything. I mean,
Is it changing? What's the other camera?
So we got like a camera back
yeah,
there,
one there and then
we got one
there,
here,
one there.
and one close up right here.
Oh, all right. Well, I just slid right in here today, and I wasn't with the times.
I mean,
I am
just
there
this
now.
this center
was
angle.
gonna say,
is-
center one
that
looks
looks pretty
really
good.
good,
I might
yeah.
just go turn the macros off, and maybe we'll roll with this for today. Or do we like the dynamic?
Well,
What
good. See,
do
I
you
was just
think
saying
out
mostly
there?
people listening, so yeah.
How about out there in internet land? What do you think?
They're like, other than the glitchy camera, it's fine.
That's just an effect.
Oh, sweet.
It's called strobe.
Yeah, it's contrast.
We're switching it up. We're trying
Well, I
to
mean,
do-
you don't miss what you don't have until you don't have it. So
Don't know what you got till it's gone.
yeah, we're just like lightly peppering people with separation anxiety.
And you don't know what you've got till it's gone. When it's analog.
I was gonna say, here comes a pivot. Whenever your voice changes, like there
I
comes a
always
pivot.
know when we're getting on the on-ramp to the conversation. All right, so we're talking about digital and analog, yeah?
Yeah,
Yes.
digital versus analog, but it's not what you think.
Yeah, it's not
You mean
the
not like
not
all
the exact same
modelers
conversation we've had. Yeah,
Because the
are
tone.
solid states and valves and such?
And when I say that, I mean digital versus analog. The tone debate, in my opinion, is over.
yeah, like whether they sound good or not, or as good, like that's mostly over. And it is because
Well,
these
yeah,
days,
at
like
this point, I think
Yeah.
there's so many people and so many artists and touring artists that have gone the digital route that I think, yeah, at this point, they're using those tools in that way and doing just fine.
I have one exception to this rule, though: pipe organs. I know it doesn't affect most of us, but that's my one exception.
I mean, it
I mean,
I'm
It
gonna
is
die on the
inherent-
hill of analog pipe organs.
is
That's-
inherently a pipe analog instrument for sure.
And that's what I mean. That was one where like Gordo and I were just kind of chatting the other day about that. Of like that's like one of the one main instruments for sure that you just know model or ever.
how about a hurdy-gurdy?
Yeah, that's yeah.
That would be a tough
That's a
thing
good
to really
replicate.
I
Yeah,
mean, it could be.
that's a good point. Actually, yeah, you're right. There's not like a hurdy gurdy setting on any of my synths or anything. So
I mean, I think there's an opportunity there somewhere, Maris.
the hurdy gurdy X, the hurdy
yeah,
X.
The hurdy X.
Yeah,
Well, we should make that pedal.
that would be pretty
It
good.
just does a
The hurdy
thing.
X.
Yeah,
You have to wire into the pedal itself in order to.
Yeah, it's got a little crank on the side.
I mean, I feel like Roland would be on that.
They could.
They have
like
the
a
most,
digital.
They have the most
yeah.
wacky digital representations of analog things, like the.
Yeah, that
Did
woodwind
you see
thing.
the flute?
Yeah, that thing is really
it's
cool.
Huge.
Yeah.
It's massive. Or the
There's like
got
1,100
sax-
the
different.
hand
too.
pan.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all digital.
Those are on the way.
How cool!
Digital hand pan.
Well, so I think Roland
digital
would
hand pan
definitely be
pizza.
on the hand hurdy-gurdy.
They're on. Yeah, they'll get on that.
So you get the little hurdy-gurdy
Mr.
pedal.
Roland is working on it right now.
Yeah,
Yep.
little hurdy-gurdy pedal, and then we go get the old school Boss pedal that had the speaker in it. Remember that? I forget the part number.
Oh, there might be something coming soon that's very similar to that from a different company or a couple
Oh
of
yeah,
companies.
that's right. I didn't even think
Which
about
is
That is right.
it looks
Yeah.
fucking cool.
that. So we got what? How many releases? I know we're getting off the. We're getting.
Yeah, we got 3 releases. I think all of them are public at this point. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, no,
they've
no,
not
no,
been
they're
announced.
not.
There's
They've
some-
not
Walrus
been
is-
announced.
yeah,
There's
sorry.
some embargo
Yeah.
action
We,
going.
we
Yeah,
have
never
we have a
mind.
couple
Yeah.
things coming in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
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 Very cool. So keep your.
That's very exciting. The release schedules lately have been kind of insane. Like the Beam Splitter
V2.
V2 coming out. Oh, what a pedal!
Yeah. I'm looking forward to getting the new Bad Cat Cub.
Oh yeah.
We got one of those coming in. I'm really excited for that because it sounded killer through my screen.
Oh yeah.
So I'm thinking it's going to be pretty rad once we get it because all the Bad Cat stuff has been.
Well, I was going to say, so far
There's-
I've been very impressed with their
There's been
stuff.
nothing
Yeah.
that I thought was like meh. Like I think all of them are really
Yeah.
good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that Ocelot.
The
is-
Ocelot.
Yeah.
Boy, is that a really good amp.
They really nailed it.
They did.
Which
And you
is
know, I didn't
also-
care about high gain until like this week, honestly, because I was
It's like
watching.
I
a bunch of-
listened to a little bit of Periphery, and now I'm hooked.
It's like come right in.
Yeah, because you know, learning about the quad cortex and all of that
Quad
jazz.
Cortex. What's going on with the Quad Cortex?
But a certain dealer in Denver might be
Friendly neighborhood store.
Independently owned store that
adding to that lineup, or adding them to the lineup.
I would like to take a guess.
Who?
Is it us?
It might be us.
Yeah, it's us.
Might be Flipside Music in Denver,
It's us.
Colorado.
Southside Music is no.
We're working on it. So anybody that's interested in the Quad Cortex, please reach out because we will be getting some in. I don't know exactly. The conversation just started with them. You know, got dealer paperwork in and all that good stuff. So we should see it hopefully pretty soon. So we're pretty excited about the Quad Cortex neural stuff coming in. It's going to be pretty rad. Because what we were kind of talking about is that, you know, I think there's different options for different people. Obviously, we got touring artists that are doing, you know, they're out there playing with, you know, with full quad cortexes or helix units and or fractals and stuff like that.
Well, I think the I don't know. I feel like the game changed a little bit with neural of like because you had a lot of companies like Kemper and Fractal and a lot of those, but it does feel like you know because it's been 6 years I believe since the initial quad cortex launched.
Yeah, like 5 or 6.
Yeah, and I was gonna say I feel like that one was kind of there's kind of like everything before that and everything after. Because that seems to be where it's headed. Because, like, obviously Line 6 is kind of right there with them. But even then, I still feel like Neural tends to get the +1 slot.
I think nationwide Neural is ahead of Line 6 in.
Well, I think the
in that
capabilities
space.
they're offering, too, of, like, being able to run more than one person, being able to
is
run,
amazing.
6 different cores at a time. Like, it's a lot of different... It's very flexible, is what it feels like, compared to some of the older options.
And their modeling is a little different than the capture stuff. The models are a little more in depth and sound.
That's what I was gonna say. Like if other
A lot more
if
3D.
other IRs are standard definition, I feel like the neural stuff is HD. That's what, or at least that's the way they kind of frame it.
Yeah, so we're interested in we're excited to have that stuff coming in, but yeah, so
this whole debate is
Yeah.
really not about tone and really not a versus. It's more about workflow and what works for you that day.
What's the best one for you in that situation?
Yeah, because like I watched a video from a guy the other day who was in the worship space, and he was talking about this exact thing, how he has this analog-ish pedal board, it has digital effects on it, reverbs and things, but each thing is purposefully on this board, and he built it and it does a thing and everything is tactile, and that is amazing. But then he moved on to Quad Cortex, not as a replacement for that other board, just as a workflow change.
Oh, I see what you say.
And
Like, he kind of
uses.
prioritized the effects that he still wanted maybe more manual control of, but subbed in the quad as kind of...
Two separate boards.
Oh, okay, he didn't...
One-
okay.
yeah,
I thought
yeah,
you were
one
saying, like,
is-
he was kind of combining boards. Okay.
No, like one is that board, but he's not replacing it. The analog board.
Yeah.
This is just a new workflow that's easier to carry, easier to manage. You don't have to carry an amp.
You don't
It's
have all
not
the
as
extra.
big.
You don't have all the extra stuff, which could be considered the fun stuff.
Well, the way I can
And,
see...
and for
But if
some
you're-
people, that's the jam.
And I think, to be honest, like, so it depends on what you're doing. As far as like, okay, so if you're if you're somebody that gigs, but you play once a month, let's just say, or maybe a couple times a month.
yeah, like you rehearse once or twice a month,
you
play
re-
out once a month.
Yeah, let's say like that's your standard,
That's a month in your
schedule.
life.
Yeah. So I think with that,
Ooh, that was a good one.
yeah. So I think with that kind of stuff, I mean, those guys may be like, hey, I like my blues deluxe or my deluxe reverb, and I like my pedal board, and I'm using the thing, or I want to play my Marshall, or I want to play my Mesa Boogie.
Yeah, I don't get to hear the big amp
Yeah,
out, so I want to drag it to the club.
Yeah, and they want to plug
And the
in, they
412.
want to have that experience. And I think for guys that kind of play like that, it certainly works. But then maybe if you're looking at the guy that's like playing 4 nights a week, 5 nights a week or more, or double shows on Saturday or something. I mean, we all know people that do that play 2 gigs.
Well, and that...
And they're not the same gigs.
Right, and sometimes
necessarily.
they're not necessarily the same gig, but that's a lot to load in and load
Well, I
out.
was going to say, because, like, when you do put it in that framework, it's a way different workload, too. Because it's like you
Yeah.
have the one dude that literally puts more work in in a month than the other dude does in 6 months. Mm-hmm. So it's like
Right,
that,
right.
like you said, like bringing the stuff, packing the stuff, going to the rehearsals, all of that, like, adds up. So.
I mean, I think we all know somebody that's like, I know this van, or I know the back of my SUV, and how much exactly can be. Like Don Ailes is like my example for this.
Oh, yeah.
So Don is a longtime player in town, really good guitar player, singer songwriter, killer player.
does a lot of folk kind of acoustic shows right now.
Yeah, that's kind of where he's at now. The thing is I mean, I'm talking to him, and he's like, I know exactly, everything has exactly its place to fit in the back of their truck, so they can get to the gigs. And even I know that even he's kind of like reduced stuff, because at one point they were gigging a lot, and even like Jock was another one that was gigging a lot, and he's like, it's just a lot of stuff to load in, load out, set up. But along with that, I think you have a lot of points of failure that could then lead to some major frustrations. So going on the digital side,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, here's this box. I don't have a ton of stuff that I have to worry about except for that. Mm-hmm. And if you're, like I said, if you're playing 5 nights a week, I mean, it's an easier in and easier out. And I think, as far as tones, you're dialing all that stuff in. And then there's guys that are using in-ears too, so they're hearing exactly what they're putting out.
Oh, yeah.
And I think, like you said, for workflow, that could be so much easier, because the guy's playing, hey, I got my reggae band playing Tuesday night. Wednesday night, I'm playing in my rock and roll band. And then Sunday, or Saturday, I'm
got a
playing in
wedding
my
gig,
worship,
and then a worship gig on Sunday.
worship gig. So it's like, yeah, and it's like it's all right in one box. Like, it's all right there.
And
Or
you've
even
got-
we've got to the point too where you could have different ones for different projects. Yeah,
right,
like
but
have
for
the
the-
one for like the stuff where you're covering, especially because like in a worship thing, like some of those guys that we have some of those customers, and they got to cover. Now it's all in the same genre-ish, but they got to cover like 40 different songs, 40 different
Right.
artists, like, and in that time, yeah, like you're not going to be able to do that with like a Tube Screamer, a Blues Junior, and a Telly, like, you know, you got to cover 40 different people. Like that's a scenario where, yeah, like having a modeler, having everything kind of predetermined, you know.
Yeah, this song needs
yeah.
a chorus, and this song
Yeah.
needs phaser, and that song needs,
Right.
you know, so you can add all the bits that you need in there.
Yeah, and a lot of it's like front loading the work so that you're not having to do that in the moment. Like that's where like a lot of modelers and like because like a lot of these times you know, we get customers that are kind of sniffing around those things, and like a lot of times I think that they maybe feel as though that's always going to be the scenario of like working with a modeler, that it's always going to be work. And I think a lot of people don't always realize that like once you front load that work, like most of it's copy and paste after that. Like once you
Yeah.
kind of get your framework, the rest of it's really just like slight tweaks. It's not like it's not like every time you want to use it you got to start over or anything.
Right. I mean, it's great in a band scenario, especially if you're playing in, you know, a cover type band where you're like, and you're covering a lot of different, not super different genres,
A lot
but
of
like,
Sonic territory.
Yeah.
you're covering a lot of ground.
Different tones, different eras, different yeah.
Let's say you're playing in a '90s cover band. You know, there's straight distortion, and then there's fuzz, and then that fuzz. You know, you may have
There's some chorus stuff.
Well, just, yeah, there's
Chorus
your
and
clean
phaser,
chorus
yeah.
tone. There's your lead delay chorus tone. There's your
Yeah.
you know, there's your you know just kind of straight distortion stuff. There's going to be your more especially with the '90s, like the Soundgarden stuff. You know, like rotary type stuff, and there all kinds of
Yeah, and if you're playing a straight rock and roll band or a blues band, I mean, something like a digital may not be. You may not need a thing because there's guys that are just like, I got a Rat and a deluxe, you know, reverb deluxe, and
I
that's
turn
all,
my volume
and,
down
and that's
a
all I
little
need.
down low if I need clean, and turn it up if I need distortion.
I was in this place once, and that's all the guy played. He had a Rat pedal on the floor with a deluxe reverb, and that was the whole. And he was really good.
I was gonna say, I bet his tone was pretty good.
He was really good. You know, it was funny because he came in. He was a bit rough around the edges. Nice guy, but he was definitely rough around the edges. And it was funny because I'm like, I don't know. I have zero idea what to expect from this guy. And he was awesome. His energy was great. His songs he was all original. So it was all rock and roll. You know, rock and roll and blues bass, very 70s ish. But I was like, that sounds awesome. And I'm like, that's it. So that's all he needed, you know. But
and that's workflow for that person.
yeah, for him.
And like that, the whole point of this discussion is not to say one is better than the other globally. Like one is better than the other for this situation today.
Sure.
well, and
Yeah.
I think a lot of it boils down to on like personal frustrations or quality of life improvements. Like that's one of those things. Like if you can afford to have these things, and it improves your quality of life and improves your workflow, reduces your stress, then it's certainly worth having. Then there's the gear that I think we all have that I don't want to call it like inspiration, because inspiration doesn't just come from gear, obviously, but like I think there's an element of that like we all keep the things that are a little more dear to us, because like that's the thing that maybe inspired us in the first place, or maybe that's where like, you know, that's where your real sound is. But sometimes when you're doing these, you know, these club shows or you're doing an open mic, like it's just not practical. Like, because I mean, I know all of us have way more gear than we would ever carry to a gig that we also love and would never get rid of. But it doesn't mean that that's always the first choice for the thing that you're going to go do, because it's just not always practical, especially in this day and age. And I mean, obviously you deal with that doing the sound guy stuff all the time. And I think people's ability to tailor their rig to the situation is a lot better now, and there's more options for that now than there ever used to be. Because I was thinking like 70s guy, like I often try to think about, you know, like if we were in the 70s, everything would be pretty basic. Like you would just like, and even when you listen to live bands from that era, even if they had a distorted sound and a clean sound on the album when they're playing, it just is what it is, and they're rolling with it, and it's the show. Whereas I feel like now we've kind of gotten more accustomed to, and as things have gotten easier, it's a lot easier to take a prepackaged complete sound and just go with it rather than like trying to just make do with, bare bones.
And for like 70s guy, I would almost suggest like if you're going to take a tube amp and your one pedal, maybe have a Tone X1 in your back pocket that has those two exact things
Yeah.
as the setting.
Well, that's another
as like a
Like,
backup.
yeah, you can also keep it simple, but also have that same kind of tool.
as a backup, but also being
yeah,
able to
if like your tube amp goes down.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and
Or,
even being able to load up your inspirational stuff
Right.
into a quad Cortex. You know what I mean? You're able
Yeah.
to take that and put it in there, and then go. I still have it.
Yeah,
So
that
you
way
can
it's
put-
still-
You can
yeah.
literally model that amp.
Yeah.
That's,
Your amp. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some pretty amazing stuff that's happening. Out there.
Well, it is, and I think it's, I feel like for some guys that come from certain eras or maybe guys that are just not even, like they're getting into this, but they're getting into it as an adult, and some of it's intimidating. I would say like a lot of that stuff is so much easier than it was even like 5 to 10 years ago. Like most of the modelers these days, most of the multi-effects pedals these days, so many of them have like either drag and drop options or copy and paste options, or even some of them even have presets that are already designated, so you don't even have to do that. You just got to load the stuff in there. So a lot of that stuff has been bit by bit tailored to people's needs, because I think a lot of guys, like, they first, if you first experienced a modeler and it was like a Fractal AX8 and you had to build everything from scratch, like, yes, I can see why that would be intimidating, but we're not even in that. I feel like we're not even in that era anymore, even though that, like, the dominance of that stuff was only like a dozen years ago.
Well, and
Yeah.
it seems like the presets have gotten better.
Oh, yeah,
In
yeah.
the sense of like,
A little more refined.
yeah, more usable.
But
Like
it's easier. To
The nuances
tweak
are
now, too.
the nuances
For
are
sure.
getting kind of appreciated now.
what I'm thinking about is the pods. Back, I had a Pod XT Live, and you'd scroll through the presets, and they would have so much like, here's what this thing can do,
Right.
And it'd have like a ping pong delay, and it's swirling, and it's doing this thing and the other, and it's like
Too much.
There's too much going on. I have to dial all of this stuff out just to get an amp sound.
Right.
And nowadays it's just like, here's a really good amp,
Yeah.
Right.
and it sounds awesome. And you're like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Quad Cortex.
Well, I think that might be the way of kind of thinking about it now, though, of like for the guys that are, I just want my amp, I want my basic overdrive, my basic delay, and I want my guitar. Like, it doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. Like, it really doesn't. Even if you're using a modeler, like, yeah, there might be a lot of other things that you could use, but you don't have to. And I think that's the whole thing of, some guys get into or I feel like a lot of customers kind of look at the modelers and they think, oh, well, if I'm not going to use this, and this, and this, well, then it's really not worth it, or it's not for me. And like you said, there's kind of now there's almost a modeler for every person. Like, you have the Tone X's that are really great if you just want a simple amp rig. There's like the GT 1000 core if you want kind of a whole blocked multi-effects pedal. There's all the Nu X stuff and all of their amp modeler. Like, so there's kind of modelers now at every step of the
way.
Yeah, because like that was not the case. Even again, I know I keep saying 5 to 10 years, but like to me, it's just incredible how much progress there's been on this stuff in the last 5 to 10 years.
In
Yeah,
the last decade, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, even still, there's plenty of people out there that will kind of overbuy with the option.
or yeah, buy
So
something
like,
a little
it's kind of
heavier
like
than they
somebody
need.
buying a Rubicon Jeep. Are you going to go in
Four-wheeling?
four-wheeling,
Right,
not?
right.
Or are you just
Yeah.
going? Are you just going to drive over the concrete blocks at the school to pick your kid up from soccer?
Yeah, or you're
you
going to
know-
run over a curb on the way out of the parking lot.
Or run over
yeah.
a curb on the way out, which happens often. We need one of those boulders like they have in Aurora.
Yeah.
The
We just-
target boulder.
Yeah, the target boulder. We need one of those.
We just get like a mini version of the flat irons. That way it just completely just
Yeah,
right up
just-
through
yeah.
there.
like, they're over at Picture Rock again. But I mean, there's plenty of people that overbuy. So like a thing that may be built for its intention doesn't actually it does a lot of things, but they don't always use it to its potential because they don't need as much of that. Like a Jeep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that buy Jeeps, put big tires on it, never go off road at all.
Well, and it is kind of one of those. Yes, I kind of see what you're saying, because like there are guys that I don't know. I don't know, like, if it is really a demographic necessarily, but there's definitely a lot of guys that, like, whatever the top thing is, they believe if they don't get that, then they're getting a subpar
Yeah.
piece. And, like, I feel like in today's world with where the gear's at, like, you don't have to have, you know, the Helix or the Cortex. Like, you don't have to have
There's
that.
the GX1
Yeah.
from Boss is a
Yeah.
$300 multi effects because I got one at the house. And I'm like, this thing's pretty cool and it sounds pretty good. And like, if you're going out you want to say it's rehearsal or you want to go out and jam with some friends, but you want to have some presets that can get you into a few different territories.
Yeah, in the ballpark.
Yeah, for a few $100 you can get there. And at this point, there are models that you can get for a few $100 that actually sound really good, like the new X 50 Li, I think it is. I mean, that's a really good sounding board,
That thing's awesome.
and that's a little over 300, I think. And that
Yeah.
thing's actually it's battery powered.
And you have like a phone. Yeah, there's an app, and you
Yeah.
just swap amps and pedals and.
And I think Nuix does a really good job with that stuff, you know, at the affordable price point. I mean, so does Boss, obviously, but
They do. I would say Nuix is pretty good, though, at offering, like, everything they have kind of punches above its actual price tag, like,
Yeah.
well above it.
And I
Yeah.
think that Nuix stuff you can load the NAM profiles.
yeah, the neural amp profile
Neural amp modeler.
or neural amp modeler, yeah.
Yeah, which actually, since you guys brought that up, maybe you guys want to clarify for the audience so we're not all confusing a neural
Yeah, so
DSP and neural amp modeler.
Yeah, the neural amp modeler is not the same as the neural DSP. Neural DSP, which makes Quad Cortex.
Yep, they're a company that makes Quad Cortex Mini, Quad Cortex Nano, all the plugins.
Yeah, that's separate from the NAM, NAM.
Neural amp modeler.
Right, that is the amp model. You can do IRs and stuff for amps.
It's an open source,
Yes,
community-driven software.
Yeah, it's like the Reaper of amp modelers at this point.
And they have like hundreds of thousands of amp models at this point.
I was on it.
It's insane.
Yesterday.
Well, and a lot of studio level dudes are starting to adopt it. So
Yeah, I was on it yesterday because I got a little Black Star Beam Mini, and that has
it can function with it.
Tone
that-
3000 built in.
Tone 3000's built in it, so you can just. That was
Andre's brother.
Yeah. I was just Death Race 3000. I was messing around with that, and I'm like, oh, this is cool, you know. And I mean, I was just screwing around with the beam, but that thing actually sounds really good. Like that is a great little travel modeler and thing. Like if you're a camper and you want to bring a guitar and don't want to have to bring anything big. I mean, the thing's smaller than this, and it sounds pretty good, and it works great as a just even as a Bluetooth speaker.
So you can jam along.
Yep, you can.
That or even
nice.
just, like a little mini boombox.
Yeah, you can play backing tracks and play along with it, but you can just have it as your, just as your speaker.
More and more,
and it
I want
lasts like
something like
12
that.
hours. It lasts like 12 hours. So I used the a few weeks ago. I was working in the backyard, and I was out there for like, I don't know, 8 or 9 hours, screwing around with the garden and doing other shit, and it was all day. And then I went inside and just kept the music going. So it lasted like 10 hours without, without dying. I was like, that's pretty impressive. And especially if you go camping or you're a road tripper or van lifer, that's a really cool thing to have, because then you can record with it too. It has an option to plug into your computer. So
Oh, nice.
it's a cool little. It's cool. I'm glad I got it. So
Yeah, I've been more and more looking at something like that or the Positive Grid little.
the Spark.
Yeah. Just
think
because, like, plugging to play it at home, I live in an apartment. I can't plug in an amp, which is loud and that's the easiest option.
Yeah.
But so I have to plug in my computer and get my interface out and do all these things. If I could
gotcha.
just get like
Yeah.
a little
I know what you mean.
little
now.
speaker,
Yeah.
No,
it'd be great.
I would suggest it.
Something high gain, like maybe isn't there a new high gain Black Star?
You can do the high gain. It's in there. The presets are actually pretty decent.
Because
So,
I'm learning how to sweep pick, and then it's over for all of you.
That's it. We all got to move. Like, I'm sweet picking. Watch out. I'm cleaning up around here.
Yeah, Dylan's right. I listen to Periphery. I listen to some Animals as Leaders, and Gojira.
There you go.
Basically, all the neural plug-in folks.
Oh, is Gojira included in that? Are they?
John Mayer just
Yeah.
got it
Pliny.
with them, too. You know, John Mayer's a...
Who's this John Mayer? That's not
I've
high
heard-
gain.
Juan Mayer?
That's
Yeah,
not high
Juan
gain.
Mayer. Yeah, he's in there. That's... Yeah, he's a tone chaser, too. And he's got all his stuff in there, too. So,
His plug-in is like $1 million worth of gear.
Yeah.
Or something like
hey,
that.
here's a $400,000 dumbbell. Wow,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I'll definitely never get to play the real thing. So, sure, let's plug into this. No, I think it's really... I don't know. I think it's really cool what we can do today compared to, hey, I guess I'll just plug into this Gorilla.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like when I was a kid, like there was not a lot of options unless you had not a lot of good options for cheaper gear or less expensive gear. You know what I mean? Like it was like, this is pretty effing awful. Whereas at least now you can get like I said, even with that beam for a couple $100, you get all that stuff that you can play with. It's really cool.
Well, I think there was a certain resignation. Ziggy said. I was gonna say I think there was a certain resignation that companies had to that bottom tier. I don't know, because I was just say, since you were around, then you might be able to say. But it feels like the impression I get from the '80s, with a lot of the budget stuff, is just the companies were like, oh well, we have to have some budget stuff, but we're not gonna actually stand
Make it
behind
sound
it.
good.
Yeah, we're not gonna actually put any effort into it. We're gonna offer it, but this is bare bones. This is what you get, and that's it. Whereas I feel like now that the beginner to intermediate market is so hyper competitive now that what you get for the money is just insanity compared to the 80s and 90s. Because it's just the amount. So even with the amps you guys were describing, it's those are what would be deemed in those eras as student level pieces. And the amazing things that you can do with that stuff now, it's always, I don't know, it's interesting to me to keep that perspective of just because it's in that student level price point these days does not mean it's just student level gear.
Right. It doesn't mean it's junk. Because if you look at stuff like the Fender Mustang series, you have the Black Star IDX series. You know,
katanas
you
from
have
Boss.
The katanas from Boss.
Which are just insane again for the
which
price.
Are still great for the and all three of those are great for what you get. And there's even some of the stuff from Vox, their digital stuff sounds really good. I feel like I'm missing somebody in there though I don't know. The point is that you can.
Well, just what you get for the money,
mid-level stuff is you could.
And keep
a
in
Boss
mind,
Katana 50, and if you're just getting started,
we have customers that gig with those.
Yeah, that'll put you way
Yeah.
down the road. And I hear plenty of people that are don't like them, or they sound terrible or whatever.
Yeah, and see,
I don't know
That
who
might be
they-
user error.
I was just gonna say I'm getting so over that, people saying that something sounds like shit because they didn't.
Right, that's
use it,
usually
right?
where
Yeah.
They don't know how to dial
They
it
just
in.
didn't dial
Yeah.
in properly,
Yeah.
and it's well, how come there's all these other thousands and thousands and thousands of people
That are perfectly
that have
content.
success with this, but it's shit because you can't dial it in.
Right.
You know, it's like getting into a Mercedes and you think it's terrible because it doesn't have the same key as your Cordoba.
Or a
You know,
dude
or
that had
some goofy shit,
an
you know?
F-250, and he's like, this convertible doesn't have the towing capacity of my F-250. It's shit.
Right.
That's
It's
that
different
does
things,
two different things for two different scenarios. Yeah,
Yeah.
not even. But even then, though, I do wish. I guess now, as things have gotten so much better, I do wish we would get to an era where people were encouraging people to get more out of the things that they already have. Because if you learn a little bit about the stuff you already have, it unlocks everything else you're going to do down the road. And just learning, even just learning the basics of EQ is such a huge thing that I feel like a lot of aspiring musicians just skip right over. They don't even usually understand the frequencies that they're playing in. You know, and even
how it can change
Yeah.
what they do. It could easily fix, hey, what you need is to take this out.
Yeah.
Bloop. Oh, that's exactly what I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got to play with that.
Well, and you don't have to be the world's best player to understand how those things work. Like, I think that's one of those things. Like, everybody can learn those things. Like, yes, having an ear, some people are just going to inherently be, a little more predisposed to those things. But I think fundamentally, like, now we have reached a point where things are so good that, like, the excuse can't be that it's shit because I didn't learn how to use it, is what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like we need to reach an era where, like, everybody's kind of, trying to get the most they can out of what they have. Because, like, there's so many things that I own that I'm still learning about, 3, 4, 5 years into, that, like, I guess I feel like we do this stuff every day. I learn all that stuff at home, and I'm still shocked at what I learned. So it's like I just want, I want that baseline, I guess, to come up.
Well, that's another like argument for digital is you get in one box. That GT1000 has an EQ,
Exactly.
has all the overdrives you could.
You could learn the fundamentals of all modulation. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we've done that. I've made that argument with talking to people about the Katana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, okay, well, why would I get this instead of that? Well, that's a one-trick pony, and it's going to do the thing you want. It's going to make sound. Yeah. This thing
will actually teach you stuff.
Yeah, if you take the time, you can explore. So, for $1 amount, you can explore tons of stuff. You can get into their platform, and then explore. Oh, this is what chorus sounds like. Oh, now I know a chorus sounds like.
Yeah, you could literally explore.
This is Purple Rain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, now I know that tone. Or you can explore what a flanger is, or a rotary, or so many different. I see why. Here's a tube screamer type thing, or
versus a clon thing.
Yeah. Oh, this is plate reverb.
Well, that's even kind of what I mean.
Reverb.
Yeah.
This is. Spring, you can play with all of that shit and it really learn, and like you said, elevate your knowledge, and then well, and
everything's easier after that. Like, every amp you ever dial in gets easier once you kind of learn the fundamentals of certain things. And I think that is one of those things of, like, it's even just for baseline communication, when you're talking, like, we're all talking about all this stuff all the time, like, it's one of those things of, like, if you buy an amp like the Katana, or you buy an effects pedal like the GT Core or whatever it is, like, you can learn all of those things. You can learn, like, what is a flanger, what is a chorus, why are they different, how are they different, those types of things. And I think that's another part of it that maybe isn't really valued with the budget market, is, like, the ability to actually learn more than
for a very inexpensive tuition. You can learn a lot.
Yeah.
And the thing is you just have to get familiar and dive in a little bit. So, related story-ish, I recently bought a old vehicle. Okay, basically a Land Cruiser. And it's an older one. It's 2002. I am more of a Jeep guy and new to the Toyota Land Cruiser world. And yesterday, as I was working on some stuff last night, I'm like, oh, here's a podcast, and they're talking about the 100 series Land Cruisers. And this would be really cool to listen to, because I need to understand, like, I need to know what I'm asking for or looking for in the vehicle. Like, if I need to repair something, I need to know what the hell I'm talking about. On a Jeep, I'm more familiar, but the Toyotas are a little bit different. So I put this podcast on, and they're going, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, I don't know.
What are they saying?
They're like, oh, this is the 2ZU4, and and I'm like, that's the J body style, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there Googling. I'm like, wait, what does the J body style mean? And it was just really funny because I was watching it and I was interested, but it was like super nerdy gear shit.
Yeah.
Like Toyota Land Cruiser guy stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is what people.
This is how other people
This
hear
is
us.
how other people listen to us. Like, they're like, I'm interested, but man, I don't, like, this is way over my head.
But if we're talking about like the JRC 4558,
Yeah, totally. Exactly.
the chip and the tube screamer,
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like LM38, yeah, whatever. I got that. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, when you go super deep, there's stuff I certainly don't know. But when you go super deep into stuff,
Yeah.
It definitely it gave me perspective on our gear because I was so like I don't know what that is. What motor does that go in? You know, when they were talking about, well, compared to this has got the thing and that's got the solid axle, you know, and I'm like, oh man, I got some shit to learn here.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's always
I'm gonna have some stuff. I did learn, but I was Googling along the way and stopping the podcast because I'm like, I don't know what the hell this thing is.
Well, and that I certainly understand. Like when we're getting into real specifics, like if if you and I, if like let's say we're all talking about this stuff and we start talking about the Rev G20 versus the Vox AC15 C1 versus the Fender 65 Deluxe Reverb. For people that are not those are all normal, easy things. We all know exactly what those are in this room, but like other people might not. For me, it's more of like I think the basic stuff has gotten to the point that you can learn. It's like learning your ABCs at this point, I guess is the way I almost look at it. Of like you just have to get through the basics of like this is a flange, this is a chorus, this is a reverb, this is a delay, this is a vibrato, this is a an overdrive,
Trend.
this is a fuzz, this is a boost, this is like once you get all of those core elements, then the whole rest of everything opens up. And that's one of those things of like I guess I often encourage people to not try not to get overwhelmed because your amp.
Easy to
Because like it is really easy to get overwhelmed. Like especially like if I'm like, hey, this Boss Katana has 65 different options for the effects. That's awesome, right? And they're like, no, that sounds awful. That's overwhelming. It's like no, but you don't have to use all of those. And as time goes on, like just experiment with it. But that's a perfect candidate of like you can buy it without having to actually go to the store. And I don't want to say making mistakes because that's not buying gear is not really a mistake, but like you don't have to go in and buy your way.
Sometimes it is.
It can be, but again, like
sometimes it can.
but this
Like
is,
a flanger's not for everybody.
well, yeah, and this is where that value, that added value that you may not even appreciate until you're on the other side of it is that you might get into it and like now you don't have to buy a $200 flange to find out you hate flangers. You don't have to buy a $300 Leslie pedal because there's only like a few of them out there, and to find out that you're never going to use that.
$200
$200
compressor.
Yeah, but you might find out like, oh shit, phaser is your bag. Like that's your thing.
I don't have to
Now-
buy a $200 compressor to realize it doesn't do anything.
And you
Or
realize
I
that phase
hate
is
it.
your thing, and you're like,
Right.
oh, I'm gonna go buy the most expensive phaser now because I understand
Exactly.
the
That I love,
differences
yeah.
and this and that, and I need/want.
Yeah, well, it
That
is.
thing.
It's like you've now tried vanilla.
Want
Yeah,
slash need.
yeah. You've now tried vanilla ice cream. Now it's time to like
Reese's peanut butter.
yeah, exactly. Now it's time to go to Cold Stone or something. It's just one of those things of like there's value in that stuff, and just because it may seem overwhelming at the beginning, try not to get intimidated because at the end of the day, with most guitar stuff, you can always turn it off. So it's like
And with like what you said,
exactly,
That's my move.
it's like
Click.
you
click,
can then
click.
yeah.
you can try all the flavors of like amp.
Yeah.
So like you can then understand like why an AC30 is different.
Yeah,
from
what does
a
British
Marshall
mean? Yeah, exactly.
Versus a Fender. And if you really get into the weeds, you find out that it all came from one amp, and there's like this tree that.
Well, that's like my Jeep story, my Jeep and Toyota story. So the FJ was basically Japan made the FJ, but it was based on a Jeep. It was based on the Army Jeep, and that's why there were some similar things to it. It was engineered differently, but that's where the J, also the part number, it still represents Jeep because it came. So it's kind of like it's like the Fender or like the Fender Bassman. We know what grew from that, Marshalls and stuff like that. Very similar thing. Sometimes it's nice to figure out where it came from to figure out where to go. But yeah, learning like, the AC30, oh wow, I can kind of get that Beatlesy thing that I really like, or
It has this
you know,
top end shimmer that the other things don't have.
Well, and it also kind of reins in, I would say down the road too, it reins in expectations, especially with amps. Because like when I was younger, I don't know if you guys felt similar. When I was younger, the most mystique that was around was always around amps, at least for me, like as gear kind of, because like pedals were accessible and becoming increasingly accessible when I got into guitar. The guitars obviously were always there, and like that's to me the guitar is very personal, so like that's a very different thing. But the mystique of like amps was always a thing, and I do feel like as time is going on, like there's still going to be some of that, especially with some of the classic tube amps. But even like with what Jacob said of like learning a little bit of that lineage of where those amps come from, then helps you understand that like, oh, I have this thing that's based on a Bassman. Like, let's say you bought a MiG 50 and you're like, oh, I have this thing it's based on a Bassman. I'm never going to get it to sound like a Marshall. When it's like, that's not always the case. Like there's a lot of other things. And once you learn what your amp is really capable of, where it came from, then you know how to kind of steer it where you want to take it. Cause like, a good EQ and a good drive can kind of steer most amps almost anywhere you need to go. But you kind of understand, like, you need to understand, like, what the strengths of your amp are.
This is more mid-heavy. This doesn't have as much mids. That's why they used...
Exactly,
That's why that's why, like, Stevie Ray Vaughan used a tube screamer.
Yes. That's a case in point of, like, not everybody needs a tube screamer, but Stevie Ray Vaughan needed a tube screamer.
Right. For what he did.
He absolutely needed it.
Yeah, because we've seen it where somebody bought a tube screamer and it's like, well, this thing sounds terrible. I don't know why. Well,
I went through the same thing.
What amp are you pushing it through? I'm pushing it through a Marshall. Well, it doesn't necerally...
Yeah. Oh, you mean the tube screamer through my PV Rage?
Ooh, yeah, that sounds...
Didn't instantly make you Stevie Ray Vaughan.
That didn't do it for you?
But, I mean, I think that is sort of the thing is, like, we kind of romanticize amps and pedals and things to kind of do that. And, like, I'm not saying don't do that. Like, I always think you should be in love with the gear that you have. But I also feel like you should get to know it as much as you can.
Get to know me.
Yeah, because you might find out something, and like, I don't know. It's just one of those things of like, even lately, like I've been going back through a lot of my gear and like trying it in combinations that I never did before, because it's just one of those things of like we've done this stuff long enough that like I feel like I know just enough now to realize how much I haven't actually explored, even though I've explored probably far more than most average. Yeah, like far more. But it's like there's so much out there that's still there, and like. I just feel like the education you can get from some of this gear is undervalued sometimes, and doesn't necessarily need to be intimidating as much as it can be like motivating to get into the weeds, a bit. Mm-hmm. You gotta do those side quests. You can't just do the main storyline, or you're gonna get bored.
Yeah, you definitely gotta follow the guy with the beard.
Yeah, like all the cool stuff happens on the side quests. So everybody knows that.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, shit, I didn't finish Skyrim for like 8 years because of side quests.
And we're not going to have much time for side quests here on the Denver Music Gear podcast this week.
Did we fill it up?
Fill it all up.
We were going to talk about the Tulagi Music Fest, which is coming up here at the end of the month.
About that next week.
And EMIX, which is also the same weekend. Tulagi is a big music festival up in Boulder. Our buddy DJ Williams is playing. Everclear's playing.
Sorry, who?
Itch.io. Itch.io's headlining on Thursday night.
There's a lot of good bands, actually.
The coolest band that's like not really a band. It's tribal beats. It is the coolest thing.
Yeah.
There's like
is that
40
the band with 40 people? Yeah, that's what
There's at least 40 band members.
It's like a bus of people
in this thing, and they all play drums, basically.
It's like a small town that arose.
It's awesome. It is one of the coolest experiences ever. So if you're going to that festival, don't miss them on Thursday. Itch.io, for sure. We were also going to talk about soup. Is it soup weather already?
We could talk about soup. It's almost soup weather.
Today is soup weather.
Yeah, we'll talk about soup. Stick in the soup. Stick around for next week as we talk about soups.
Yeah. Is coffee a soup? I got a new sticker from my favorite coffee shop.
A soup. I mean, I guess it could be a soup, but it's not really.
We're part of the Huck crew.
I mean,
coffee's not a soup; it's a drink.
It is a drink, but if you put soup in a cup, does it become a drink?
If I put peas in it, is it a soup?
So I guess soup is hinging on the provided ingredients, not a lack of ingredients. So I guess is coffee broth?
It's bean water.
It's bean broth.
It's bean water.
Bean water. Come on, it's soup.
I don't know. We'd have to break this down a little bit. I don't think we have enough time today because we're over, right? Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we're coming right up on it.
I felt like it went really fast.
It went really
fast.
That's
good. Hopefully it was a good conversation for you guys too.
Yeah.
So all right, you wrap it up.
I was gonna say, all gear is valid. All of it. Have an analog board. Have a
fun
digital
with it.
board. Play your analog pedals into your digital board. There's all sorts. This whole game has gotten really fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no wrong answer now.
No, you could. There's
Well, who
plenty of
knows? You
cool
might be
gear.
the
You
guy
might
that uses that piece of shit and makes it famous. So just keep plugging away.
keep doing it. There's
Yeah.
plenty of
Yeah.
artists that did. Carla says it's not cold enough for soup weather, and I do agree.
Yeah, when
Unless it's gazpacho.
the high still starts with an 8, no.
Yeah, gazpacho is probably the only soup you could eat right now, or cold.
It's 66 right now.
66 where?
Right here.
Bullshit. It ain't 66 in this room. That's not right.
That's accurate.
It was like 90 degrees an hour ago.
It did rain, but even then, that's still like that's
That's-
kind of crazy.
It says it's 66. That's
I don't
soup
tru- I
weather.
don't trust it.
I got my sweatshirt on.
66 isn't
Soup
soup weather.
weather.
That's me and Dylan are like, we're going to the beach. That's perfect.
I was just gonna say that's like a nice afternoon walk temperature.
66 is
66 is perfect.
freezing.
Shorts and a t-shirt.
Freezing.
Yeah, me and Dylan are
No,
like,
just like, I was like, yeah.
soup weather's like 35.
Yeah.
Maybe 45. I'll extend it to 45. But that's still even warm. I'll still go outside.
Well, and it also depends on the
still go
soup because like a real heavy beef stew calls for like a real cold temperature
Yeah.
outside, like because that shit'll warm you right up. So
I got plenty of soup. I got plenty of soup talk coming up.
And if you're ever at the crypt, the Tom Kha is excellent.
What is that?
It's a soup.
the Tom Kha.
Tom Kha. It's
Didn't
like
get a Tom Collins with your Tom Collins.
I think it's an Indian soup.
Ah,
I just want to make a dirty joke.
It's delicious.
You know, I'm like right there. I can't help myself.
It's-
Yeah.
I'm trying to be. I'm trying
It's
to.
delicious.
Well, it's funny when I hear you like. Just like,
I gotta make a Tom Cock joke. Ah, fuck! I said it.
invasive thoughts are winning.
I felt the whole shit too much. It's too much for me. I can't.
Well, maybe it will be more like soup weather next week.
Then we'll talk about lentil soup and split pea soup and monastana and all.
I like
all the
a
good
carrot
soups.
ginger. I like a carrot ginger soup.
Carrot. I like menudo. I had a bowl of menudo the other day. It was so good.
Some
From
fasol.
Chuladas on Federal. They make some
fasol?
really good stuff. I made a green chili bean and chicken soup out of from my
Excellent.
green chilies, my Pueblo green chilies, and I was just winging it. I'm like, you know what I think would be really good? Chicken with white beans and this green chili, and it came out really, really good. And I was like, I think I made up a
recipe.
new soup for myself.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, we'll talk. We'll get back to soup talk next week. Maybe
Yeah.
that'll be our next. That's our side cast.
Soups are just the
Soup
songs
talk.
of food.
Yeah, soup talk. How to make anything into soup.
Yeah.
That's our new. That's
If
our
you're
new
real
series.
poor, you
You're
just
right,
put
anything.
you just put a rock in some water and you got soup.
Just boil something in a pot and it's soup.
See, coffee is soup.
Nobody makes coffee in a pot. Oh no, they do make it.
Somebody
in a
does,
coffee pot,
Yeah.
but not like a pot.
Well, if you scale the size of the pot, they're all pots.
I don't like the way this is going. So let's get out of here.
Well, so that's been the Denver Music Gear podcast from Flipside Music in Denver, Colorado. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends. Come buy a guitar, get an amp.
Get a quad cortex. We got them coming.
Yeah, maybe a
Yeah.
mini. Oh, I want a mini. I really want a mini. Quad Cortex Mini.
I don't know. I'm gonna see what happens when they get here.
It's a little out of my price range, but we'll figure something out.
We'll figure it out. All right. Well, we'll catch you guys.
On the flip
On the flip
side.
Flipside Music presents Denver Music Gear
He's not even here.
Brought to you
What's happening? Where's the voice coming from?
Flipside
Hey,
Music
Dale.
presents